So, I wonder how I can tip this to my follower. All right. So, as was pointed out last week, I'm now horizontal. My bad. Sorry about that. Oh, I know what I can do. Pull my chair a little bit. Oh, here we go. Hello, hello. I think actually I should wait a second. I noticed the last live stream had like some big gap for when it actually started. So let me just play for a second and warm up. Oh, that's a tough one, actually. What was I thinking of? That's it. Oops. All right. Same thing he does in When Cries Mary. Take my ring off, clinking around. All right, 3 minutes in. Not so warmed up, but we'll see what we can do. So I've had a bunch of questions from a bunch of people. First off, Nick told me to go horizontal. Check. Got you, buddy. And then Adam asked me, oops, sorry about that. That was probably really loud. My bad. Adam asks me, Adam M. Asked me, oh, come on. Was it that perfect? Was that perfect, really? That's really annoying, actually. Why are you giving me this hard of a time? Here we are. Huh, really? That's what we're doing? One of those days, folks. All right, we'll just turn this. Stupid. Let's see. How do you solve the problem of losing your place in a repeating lick? It's pretty simple. I'll answer this question first. It's pretty simple. I think about the pick I started with. Now, sometimes, you're doing a rotation. So, for an example, and this is an example I wanted to show today anyways, if we want to have like a rotating lick, and what I mean by that is the first time we're downward pick sliding, the second time we're upward pick sliding, but nothing changes in our left hand, right? That's what a rotating lick would be for me, at least in my right hand. And so what I'm doing here is like, so we'll do like E minor pentatonic. Actually, that's I guess that would be D, but that's fine. We'll do D. We're gonna just do. I'll just show you. 12, 15. So we're playing up in the. We're combining a couple pentatonic shapes more or less. And so what I think about there is I'm thinking of the downstroke first, and then the upstroke next. And so that one's rotating, right? And to not get lost as you put it, right? Like as to not, and I say kind of assume here you're talking about synchronization between your right hand and your left hand, because in order to not get lost there, you would have to have your picking hand synced up with your fretting hand. So in this case, I would say that I'm focusing on the downstroke being there the first time, trying to focus on this downstroke being on the string change, right? Like we talked about last week, inevitably you're going to have to do both, up on the new string and down on the new string. And in this case, down, up, down the first time, right? So I'm focusing on this downstroke and this downstroke. And then I know it's going to be opposite, up here and now up here. Sorry. So this lick is a good one for that. Now, if you're referring to the lick that we did last week, well, that one, there really is no way to kind of get lost because I'm simply descending down to a note and back up to the note I started on, and I'm starting on an upstroke. So once I reascend, that last note then becomes the first note. Well, it was the first note all along. That up down, sorry, that up down and that down up don't change. So after the up down, down up, and I'm already ready for the up down. So that's, I guess that's an okay. If they have any more questions about that one, you can just put them in the comments. It happens to me every time I go above medium tempo into shred territory. Again, that's just a syncopation thing. A good lick to help with that would be the one I showed, or the simple Michelangelo Badio or Paul Gilbert lick. Now, Rick Graham just posted a great video, man, where he talked about economy of motion in economy picking. And so he's talking about inside picking, right? His philosophy, which is better than the one I'm using here, I'm cross picking here. His philosophy is to, as soon as you pick the one note, we're immediately on to the next one, right? So if I pick this one, I need to pick this one and be ready against the string. What do you call planting? I think is what he called it. Up. When I go up, I'm already here waiting. I'm sorry. I go down. I'm already up waiting on the new string. Up. I'm already down waiting on the new string. So you have this different movement down here. For me here, what I focused on mainly was outside picking. And that, as we talked about last week, suits the downward pick slanter. So the meat and potatoes of this lick are just those two notes. That's the speed limit. I like to try to find the speed limit of each lick that I go to practice. And this is a good example of it. Is the speed limit is however fast I can pick that string transition. These notes nearly matter. In Intense Rock 2, Paul Gilbert talks about how you're also thinking about pick dynamics here while we're doing this. So it's nice to maybe like put it on a split position here. I put it on the second position on low volume so you can hear everything you're doing. And my recommendation is to sit there, maybe just unplug from your amp as well, and just sit there and try to really force that feeling of that string transition being an up-down. As I said before, Rick Graham has a great video you should go watch too, to talk about the opposite, the inverse of this, the inside picking, which I'm not great at. So the lick example is 7-8-7-5, repeated on one string as fast as possible. That's not a great lick to repeat though. So that's a tough one because you're focusing on this ring finger. That's what starts it, right? Why don't we start it on 5? I think for the lick example you're bringing there, unless it's something extremely particular where you have to do just that, that's really more focusing on the dexterity of your left hand than it is on the picking ability of your right hand. If that's what you're going for, then perfect. That's fine. 7-8-7-5. If that to me, I would plant my first finger after the first iteration. and we can move it up. But it's weird that it's weird to start on the second finger. I would suggest starting on the first finger, at least at first, to practice. And we could also just go, and that's probably not going. That's a good one. So if we incorporate a shift in there, it doesn't become so samey, but we're relying on that first finger, and the downstroke is what I'm focusing on. And I'm not trying to. That lick is allowing me to down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm focusing on that downstroke so much. The lick you gave me is much of the same way. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But that one doesn't really play so well as far as the left hand is concerned. So the right hand itself doesn't really become the focus. It's just the left hand. So if you're focusing on that, maybe turn that into a legato lick. And let that be the practice for that. And then maybe do like or my stand computer. I wish it would just not. So yeah, again, I think that maybe that should be switched up a little bit. I feel like my fingers and picking can definitely play that fast at high tempos. But yeah, so you're just talking about syncopation, man. The way you're gonna develop that is playing things like. And trying to make sure every note's been picked up. You could hear my synchronization kind of faltered during, because I lost sight of that downstroke. You know, it's something that develops the feel. There's a different feel playing it like this than playing it like this. You know, it's a different thing. Let's see. Okay, what's the other one he had? Tip for left-hand thumb placement. So I did a video exchange with Paul Gilbert. It's been years now, but it was with I can't remember what it's called, rock guitar school that he does online. It's a really cool little thing. And I did like an etude of triplets with ninth chords all over Little Wing, right? It was really arpeggiated. I was like focusing on every single individual chords, like for the walk down. You know, like things like that. And so because I'm doing it's not a wide stretch per se, but it is a stretch where it's most advantageous to have your thumb drop behind the neck. He actually made a comment that I shouldn't be doing that I should actually keep it up top. I would have to disagree with him here, where I think it is, he says that it gives you wrist problems, which I think it can, but I think we're talking about more so doing that forever and having your wrist be below, your thumb be below the this middle part of the neck here. I think that's mainly what he was referring to, and those positions like that. Whereas you can play a string scale like this, but it's much more comfortable to get a little more grip on it by sliding your thumb down a little bit. Now, you said I play classical positions, that matters. It does not necessarily as far as where you're pointing your thumb needs to be pointing backwards. That's pretty much it. If we're doing a scalar position, this is a horizontal position versus a vertical position, right? The fingers move along with this. So a vertical position would be something like, like the G chord, where we have the bottom of the wrist away from the guitar, and we're not really even thinking about the thumb there, honestly. But the thumb would be showing straight up and down, right? Or we have horizontal, where we have like scalar motion, right? Now the thumb is going to come up and down the neck here, right? Because I want to keep this same position here. The amount of space I have between thumb and finger here kind of moves like this, right? I'm thinking to myself like, right? I want to keep that same position, so I move my thumb down with my hand like this. Now, I suppose that is what he was referring to as putting strain on your wrist, but I've never had a problem myself. The only time I've ever had a problem is I'd take like a week off. I still played through it, but my first finger was really taking some strain here, but I know why. It was because, first off, I was playing a ridiculous amount of guitar, but also I was just getting used to really making sure, as what my main comment on your fretting hand goes, I was making sure that the rest of my fingers were moving away from my first finger pretty heavily there. And so when I was doing these positions, I was getting pretty strained down here in my first knuckle. But that, that goes away with time. And I suppose I'm not really an authority on like medically what's happening there. So maybe at your own risk, do you try those things? But I would say have the rest of the hand move away from the first finger and have the thumb pointing backwards for scalar positions, and try to consider them to be horizontal or vertical. So yeah, okay, and then. So I think I'm kind of running out of time here too. I got like 2 minutes. I have a lesson coming in, and yeah. So can you do a similar demo on how alternate picking is applied to Mr. Crowley solo? Let me hear it real quick. Mr. Crowley solo. Let me hear somebody else play it real quick so I don't get DMCA'd. Although it's kind of nice that it's just on. Oh, let me think because there. Okay. I think that's what it is, right? Terrible. Sorry. So the I think it's this that isn't that what it is? Or actually. Oh, I gotta hear it then. Sorry. Yep. I think you're probably talking about this part. Right? I think that's the part you're talking about. And the build up. I don't know what he really does there, honestly, but it's something in like D harmonic minor-ish. And so I think that the 2 licks that I'll cover here are pretty cool pentatonic ones. So we can just think about, usually I would say to play with your pinky here, but we're going to think about playing with our ring finger. We're going to consider this extended position up here, right? And we're just really playing, we're playing 2 pentatonic positions together. And now, so we're going to, the first lick he does is literally Chuck Berry. It's like the quintessential guitar lick. I'm pretty sure you can handle that one. The next one, that lick right there is just a repeating pattern in the pentatonic scale. Now, you're asking me about alternate picking it, which I don't know. Let's see. That's a I don't know if I do. I kind of like the flowing sound of the pull-offs. Maybe you can do every, like there I combine the both. So you're picking the last few notes, so it still sounds almost all alternate picked, right? So that's a cool one. I wouldn't exactly alternate pick that all though. Oh, you would do it slower? Sorry, man. I saw it fast. Shit. But I would probably combine the 2 like this. Get those last 2 notes. Back to a downstroke there. This right here is really helpful to like, we can maybe hang on that top part for a little bit. That's a pretty cool one, and I know that's fast. But it's not as intimidating as it sounds. You'll get a feeling for it pretty quickly, I think. That to practice that lick, we could just do the same thing, or we could just go. That's what I would do. To practice this feeling of 2 notes per string, I would descend in your pentatonic scale down 3 strings, so that's 6 notes, and then back up, back down. I think that would help, and when we get that down, then we can maybe maybe do something like that. Let me go back. I think that was the only other one. And what's the other? So we can maybe ascend. I'm gonna go after this. Actually, I got a lesson coming in now. So we can maybe after we bring it down, and we can come up like. The cool thing is that we can keep it going too. Maybe we go. Now I think he builds it up in this weird way, like this very Randy Rhoads thing that I'm not really into, to be honest with you. Nothing against it, but oh, here's tabs actually. Let's see exactly what he does here. Oh yikes! This is the whole thing. Yeah, I'm just not into that. 2 seconds, buddy. Sorry, I'll be right back. Just a second. And then as soon as he gets done with that one, yeah. So that's what he's talking about. All right. So then he does that. That whole thing. That whole thing he's doing there is really based off of that 2-note per string pattern. So I would say that's probably a good way to get into it. Okay, sorry, my student's walking in now. I got to go. I hope everybody has a good day. I will try to stream as soon as possible. I'm sorry this took me so long to stream again. I will see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye.